Hello, everybody, and welcome to Session 0 for our new modern fantasy campaign, Sub-Urbia. So, it's been a while since we did a Session 0. It's fine. It will only bother me. Yeah, so we're going to do a Session 0. It's been a while. So we're going to talk about setting, character, lines and veils, goals, that kind of stuff. So, first off, let me talk about setting a little bit. I did a video on this at some point where I made the campaign Bible. I'm not going to make anybody watch that. There is a campaign document I have here. And let me read the little blurb I wrote, and then I'll kind of talk about it. Sub-Urbia is a world just like ours, except it's totally different. Magic is real, monsters are real, but people are still people. They cheat, they lie, they love, they celebrate, they spend too much time on their phones, they stay out too late, they rage, they fight dragons. You know, normal stuff. You might have lived down here your whole life, or at least most of it. And if you woke up as an elf a few hundred years ago, or you might be new here, that's okay. You'll catch the drift soon enough. Just find someone who knows what they're doing and keep your head down. So in the game, the city of Sub-Urbia is a city that exists allegedly underneath somewhere on Earth. It looks like it's in a big cavern, ostensibly. But the cavern kind of goes on for a really, really long time. There's the city, there's a river, a harbor, the ocean. There's some swamps and forests way outside the city. And the city sprawls. It's like London. It's really sprawly. And there's two kinds of people in Sub-Urbia. People who were born here. People have kids here. They keep living generations and generations. And then people who came from the world above, which is called Uptown. Down here is called Downtown. So if you've ever read or watched or listened to Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman, it kind of works like that. If you fall through the cracks of society in any way, you might end up down here. Or it might be that you are simply more needed down here than you are up there. So when you do transition from one to the other, you may change your... Like, you may be... Obviously, you are a human uptown. When you wake up downtown, you may be an orc, tiefling, any fantasy race you want. That's how you get characters. You can still be a human. And then magic is real, so you can tap into that. If you are a cleric, paladin, wizard, if you study hard enough, you can do magic. You might have gained the class when you came down here as some sort of wish fulfillment, or you might have worked really hard. You're like, well, that guy can do magic. That's bullshit. I'm going to study books until I can do magic. That kind of thing. It is as I said, it's a modern setting, so technology is roughly commensurate with 2020, except everyone's allowed outside. Cell phones, laptops, Nintendo Switch. They're on Animal Crossing 4 down here, and they don't know what everybody's talking about, why it's such a big deal up there. They only have 2 Star Wars movies, though, and it's Episode 2 and Episode 9, so you kind of got to fill in the blanks.
Weird choices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're the ones no one likes the most.
Wait, now they've been at a original trilogy?
Nope.
Jeez.
You got 2 and 9. Oh, the Ewok, they have the Ewok movies. So they have Caravan of Courage and The Brave Frontier, whatever the other one's called.
Amazing.
So you really got to fill in the blanks.
Deep lore.
You can play whatever class you want, race. There's additional classes you can play if anybody wants to play them. I don't think anybody's talked about them yet, and that's fine. And then, in addition to selecting your character, race, background, class, you select a fourth thing, which is if you were born here or if you came from uptown. And that adds one tiny thing to your character, which is if you are one of the discarded people who fell, once per session, you can declare, I'm new here, and you make a charisma check with advantage. And you re-roll ones. You can't roll ones on it. And then similarly, if you were born down here, if you've been here a long time, you can declare, I know that. And once per session, you can make an int or wisdom check with advantage re-rolling ones. So that's basically it. We're going to talk a lot about... those are the basic foundations of the setting. A lot of the other stuff is fluid. It can change. You all can change it. I have some stuff down here that we can talk about very briefly if anybody wants to kind of elaborate on that, or we can make stuff up as we go. So, does anybody have any questions about that stuff?
No, sounds good.
Excellent. Let's talk
Dan
about...
in the chat asked if they got the Christmas special.
No, George Lucas so effectively eradicated it, it doesn't even exist down here.
Wow.
Yeah. He's got money.
Above and below.
Yeah. Where do you think he got all the extras for Willow? Down here.
Oh, shit.
Whoa.
Yeah. That's a lot of sense.
Think about it. Also, the idea for Red Tails. That's not true. Okay. So, I can... There we go. Ah, damn it. It's only going to bother you, Andy. Fixed it. Nailed it. Let's talk about characters. Mira, what were you thinking about? I know you talked a little bit about it. What do you want to talk about?
Yeah, so when I first read through the Sub-Urbia Bible, the thing that kind of stood out to me the most was the ocean ceiling, which is literally the bottom of the ocean that hangs like above near the city of Sub-Urbia, and where there are a bunch of shipwrecks. And so my idea was, on the surface in Uptown, there was this environmental researcher who would go out on expeditions into the ocean on boats, and she would research, and she absolutely loved it, like trying to figure out like how to protect the ocean, how to preserve it, all of the wildlife there, and just everything she could learn about it. And then one day they get caught in a huge storm in the shipwrecks, and they all fall to the bottom of the ocean, and she wakes up in downtown, no longer a human, but a Triton. So she's a fish person now, a Triton druid. And seemingly the only job that she can get in downtown is a shitty barista job. Because for some reason her skills are not as applicable here.
Just trying to climb that corporate ladder, man.
Worst.
Yeah. I am into it. Okay. So how long were you picturing she's been down here? Is this like her first week?
No, not really. She's been there for a couple of months, like long enough to be established as a barista.
Okay.
But like, she's definitely still like disoriented, doesn't quite know where she is or how she got here. Still trying to figure out what the fuck.
Okay, yeah.
There's magic now?
There's magic.
She's no longer a human? What happened? She thought she was dead. Is she dead?
Hey, you might be dead, lady. hate to break it to you.
Like,
yeah, totally.
Around, so like, maybe this is hell.
You know what? You think you saw a devil. This might be hell.
Sorry about your existential crisis. Is my macchiato coming, or...
Okay, well, Satan does not spell this way, lady. And I think you know that. I know. I'm supposed to post on Instagram about it. I get it. I respect
My
it.
name's Dave Satan. I don't understand.
It's pronounced T, actually.
Okay. Awesome. So we talked about this briefly. We have to come up with a name for fake Starbucks.
For fake Starbucks, yes.
Okay. What kind of druid?
Bomb of the Summer that is a power. I can't remember it's one of the ones from Xanathars?
Is that
I
the?
forgot to
It's the Healy one.
Is that the dreams druid?
Yeah, it's the Court of Dreams.
Awesome.
I really should write that down somewhere.
Okay, Triton, Court of Dreams, Shitty Breeze.
Oh, Dan said that we should name the fake Starbucks Drowbucks.
Hey.
I mean, it is a no. That's it. It's a joke from that's from Task Force Unlikely, right?
I
Mm-hmm.
think so.
We could name it Drowbucks.
Or that could be a competitor.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing. It's, perhaps this version of Starbucks has not so ruthlessly murdered Seattle's best. And Saxby's, that's the one they killed. Saxby's. Saxby's exists down here. It's weird.
Nice.
I was thinking,
Zaxby's exists here.
Does it? Oh, we
in the
don't.
United States South.
Okay, they killed all our Saxby's.
No, they're still here.
Okay.
In Texas and many southern states, I know, because they have maps in the restaurants of, we're still here.
Yeah, I think when Borders...
Slowly have to mark them off as more closed down.
Yeah. I think when Borders died, all of the Saxby's up here dried out.
It's like, wait, Zaxby's don't exist anymore? I could have sworn they were still here.
That's like we also don't have Quiznos anymore, but I know Quiznos are still a thing other places.
They're not a thing
Quiznos.
anymore. They just disappeared.
Yeah, no, Daniel in chat is saying things go where they needed most and the Undercity needed a coffee chain. No, there's a couple businesses I was just like, Circuit City? They have that in here. Yeah, it's just...
Sure.
That's what happened to Circuit City, everybody. Okay, so we'll think about that. Anything else you want to talk about your character?
I think that's mostly what I had.
Okay.
There is very big, confused, tired grad student energy.
Mm-hmm.
If you know what I'm getting at. And if you could not tell, I am not a grad student, but drawn a lot on life here.
Oh, and do you have a name that you were considering?
She's called Tina, though her her trite name is Aratina. Everyone calls her Tina.
That's my mom's name.
I love it. Aratina? That's really specific. Let's see. Does anyone else have any questions for Mira and her character?
I love it. That's not a question.
Yeah. Declarations. I also love it. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Okay. Perfect. Okay, so she is new-ish. Let me note that. That's good. I want a mix of newish and oldish. And if it leans one way or the other, that's fine, as long as there's at least one person on either side. Okay.
Yeah, I've got plans for either, so
Okay.
if you weren't already, do me last, and I'll kind of respond to how the wind's blowing.
You are luckily last on the overlay, so...
Perfect.
Sorry, one more question, Mira. Do you have any goals? What are Tina's goals?
So she's still trying to figure out the biggest goal is figuring out exactly what happened to her. How she ended up changing from a human to a fish person, What happened to everybody else that was on that ship? What exactly is this place, and how does magic exist? And like at some point, she would like to try and like if she can get up into the ocean ceiling, she would like to find the shipwreck.
Perfect. Okay, great. Okay. Excellent. And if anybody thinks of any questions later, or if things come up in other people's characters, don't ask them. No, obviously.
Well, okay.
Figure it out.
I think I'll have more follow-up.
Yeah, once we're all done. Yep.
Yeah, as
Definitely.
we start to deal.
About Tina the Triton.
Okay. Liz.
Hello. I was thinking of doing a half-orc rogue, tentative name Brecca, who is a private investigator who was born in the downtown, and due to this, I guess, family tragedy story, ended up becoming wanting to be the person who helped people who fell through the cracks. Because when I was reading the Bible, I was like, oh, their mayor is a modron. That doesn't really help out with laws and stuff, and every the ruling class is all dragons. That's not good.
Yeah, it's not look, down base level, everything's okay. Yeah, your mayor's a modron, and he keeps winning elections somehow. And yeah, maybe they shouldn't have given modrons the vote. Now everybody's wondering about that, because there's 6 million of them, and it's just, they're not really sapient. It's complicated.
Look, the metro runs on time.
That's good enough for some people. Everything works.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, Liz, go ahead.
So yeah, I guess they're just there's this person who just realizes that the city's kind of messed up, and she's doing her best to help the people who can't be helped, or the law won't help. But my thing was I don't really have that great of stats, or at least I have pretty good stats. And I actually tried to do that once with a character, and I ended up failing horribly. So I just started panicking about oh no. Because I really don't have a modifier above 2. And that should be a better thing to do, I guess. I don't know. But it's also
yeah, it depends on how you want to build them. I mean, if you want them to have 3 +2 modifiers, you can't have one above +2. So
Yeah, I think broadly speaking, that's true. If you're I'm the best dungeon delver in Parasol County or whatever in a D&D game, yeah, you want to be good at dungeon delving because that's what you said on the tin. You're a dude who grew up here, or a they who grew up here, who's just kind of, yeah. I never got time to go to secondary school for that, and pick this up on the street, and I'm kind of I think jack of all trades is perfectly acceptable, especially if you're coming from uptown too, because it's not you got super good at thieves tools up top or whatever. I don't know. I think it's appropriate to the setting.
Okay. Oh, but I did give them a thieves tool proficiency, so.
yeah, no,
you're a PI.
You're a PI.
Yeah.
They do in the send away course or the evening school or whatever you took, or self-taught even. Yeah, they'll teach you how to pick a lock. It's important. Every detective book I've ever read, they can pick locks. Even Poirot. Okay. Anything else? Or otherwise, what are your goals?
I think their goals are just going to be, if one of the other characters come to help or come needing help to them, they would stop at nothing to help them figure out whatever problem they had or whatever mystery is going on. Because I was like really thinking that they would just be like, you know, the sort of basic hard-boiled detective with the 3-piece suit, the little hat, but just sort of not like, I think I told Andy this, but the touchstone I was going for was like Millie and Meryl from Trigun.
Oh, okay.
So like
yeah.
just trying to mix those two characters together.
I dig it.
And have you said you're intending to be half orc, right?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, that's why I was kind of weird about stats, because like half orcs, they get like strength and constitution, and that's kind of bad for rogues.
Right.
Unless like I move around some numbers and give myself like I could get to a 16 in constitution. It's just that I wouldn't be good at stuff that might be better for a rogue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but like Marty said, yeah, I mean that's okay. I mean,
yeah, because
in one of our other games, you play a rogue who's not very stealthy. Like,
no,
and yeah, it works.
I love it. Every time you get elected to sneak, I'm like, yeah, do it.
That +3.
I have a +4 in
Tarbeck gonna do it like clunk.
Oh no!
clunk.
It is
sure.
Hysterical to me that it is still the best option. Is the rogue who isn't good at it.
But I was also going to do like the inquisitive rogue, which is like, oh, you get bumped up for insight, because like, and I'm like, oh great, I don't have to put anything in intelligence.
Yeah, just naturally, you just know you've worked so hard to learn all this stuff. Yeah, you don't have to necessarily be books. You don't know anything about magic. You know how to read this person.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Cece.
All right. So my character, I'm thinking about being a tiefling, named Brooks. I want to go like aesthetically, like they are very like chameleon-like. So I kind of want them to both try and blend in and also do that thing where chameleons, they like change their color and then they go to like a completely different like setting or whatever, and they haven't quite like changed their color again, so now they're just like purple and you're like, okay, well now you're just standing out. I want them to be a warlock, packed to the blade, and then I was thinking that their patron would be the UA Noble Genie patron. So my idea behind them is that they were a former cosplayer in Uptown, and that when they came to downtown, that's kind of why they adapted very like chameleon-like qualities, is they're kind of able to like change themselves. And how they got into their warlock pact was that they were posting stuff on Instagram, and finally, you know, got over that 100 follower bump, and they got a message in their DMs from a major media corporation to sign a contract with them, but it was actually a warlock pact. And so now she's got to help promote the media corporation and get more followers.
Okay. And the media corporation is owned by a genie?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's more of an upside down funnel.
I understand. And I immediately want to be on board. The opportunities. Okay. Okay, so wait, hold on. Noble Genie, Media Corporation. Okay, and so you joined Instagram when you came down here? Is that
yeah,
okay.
Or like whatever.
Yeah, we'll think of.
I think by the time you accepted the terms of service or whatever.
Yeah.
You looked up and
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
yeah,
I wanted
okay,
it to be
wait.
pretty new to this.
Okay, but what Marty said is different than what I asked, and I want to make sure because I
Okay.
also like that. Did you sell your soul uptown and end up downtown, or did
Yes,
you? Okay,
that was my idea. But now it's like the downtown version of Instagram is what she's trying to get followers on.
right. Okay,
She didn't read the contract very well.
Who
It was
does?
kind of like, yeah, whatever,
So long.
user agreements. Who reads those?
It was like a 10-page terms of service. Who reads that?
Yeah. Just scroll to the bottom until the thing highlights.
when you can't even check it until you scroll, the worst. You know I'm not
client-
reading it.
the client hitherto referred to as the client soul. Yeah. Wait, what?
It's boilerplate. I don't know how many different companies own my soul. Okay. Their pronouns are they them?
They, them, she, her.
Okay. Brooks. Genie. Goals are get souls or get followers.
Get those sick follows, yo.
Get them follows. Like and subscribe.
Well, because like the noble genie has like that that you can create like the tether. So that's like my idea is that they use like the tether to like get more followers.
Okay. Yeah, I mean whatever you got to do. And you're new. New.
Follow my patron.
Well, we've established that Xfinity is a dragon, so we'll have to figure out which media corporation this is. Verizon? I don't know. Time Warner? They're two different genies. Who knew?
Yeah. There's really two genies that are just pretty much in charge of every.
Walt Disney. Head. Walt Disney's head. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
Is a genie. Weird.
Yeah. The body of Walt Disney has been fighting him for years.
Yeah.
It's very strange.
So does he like appear like that head thing from Pee-wee's Playhouse?
Yes. Yep.
Chomby,
Yeah.
played by Phil Hartman in the stage show. I don't know if he was on the. No, he wasn't it on the TV show.
I was gonna
But
say, that might have been too famous Phil Hartman at that point.
yeah,
Although we're watching The Simpsons right now, and he's on every other episode of that in the mid seasons. Like, how much time did you have, Phil Hartman? Jeez, you're in everything.
he was a unique talent.
Oh, the best. Okay. Anything else?
No, that's it.
No?
That's all I got.
Okay.
And you're talking like brand new, like day one, day two.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, like pretty fresh. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think we need at least one of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we've got been here a bit, still confused. Tina probably hasn't seen a dragon yet. Like, that might be I'm sorry, is that a dragon? Kind of thing. But yeah, centaurs, yeah, I get it. Tieflings, I'm a fish person, I guess. Been here their whole life. Brand new. Walks into a Starbucks. What?
My degree is worthless here.
They don't have an ocean floor to explore. I can't do that anymore.
How do I get up there?
You have to.
Oh.
You guys got like
Why
a
would
ladder
you?
or anything? Those exist down here? I don't.
We don't have ladders. We think very horizontally.
Yeah, Uptown's got all the ladders. It's a real problem.
I've seen some of you. Some of you have wings. Can none of you just like get me up there? Like,
No.
I can swim up fine, but like,
That's... I don't know. Okay.
I got a thing. I'm doing another thing.
I can 9 to 5. Am I right?
I got Bikram yoga. Just asking every winged customer, "Hey, you going to the ocean bottom anytime soon?"
Just to check yes or no. Okay. And Marty.
All right. Yeah. So I've built for two situations. One being that both are discarded, but one has been here for years enough that probably even the shine off the "I'm new here" probably doesn't work in some places. Of like, no, you're not. No, we've seen you. You've been here for months. Both are basically the same base concept. It's just a matter of how fresh one is or the other. One is a half elf who never knew one of their parents enough to know, were they always a half elf, or did that just kind of manifest in their spirit when they came down here? Both are kind of just girl with a guitar bards, street smart, just kind of playing gigs wherever they can pick them up. Dive bars are their favorite terrain. So the one that's been here for a while would be a half elf. Just kind of has a 1 to 3 in everything. So there is never a role that she would be left out of. Because just kind of that real girl from the streets, has seen or heard of this, bought mushrooms from a beholder once, like just kind of like, yeah, I've been here. The only problem I kind of ran into this morning was kind of like, well, there's no conflict there. Like, even if it's just kind of like, and this is your dad, it's this crispy cigarette smoking elf, and he's just like, she just kind of be like, ah, cool, man, I get it. I'm obviously fine, so whatever. Like, and like on the one hand, I think I've earned the right to take a campaign off from conflict.
Yeah, I mean, you do whatever you want.
But the other one that I kind of panic made while we were starting the stream is a tiefling who has just woken up like that, like this morning. Like, you know, same basic premise, girl with a guitar, except now the question of her parentage is a lot more severe.
Yes, it's... Was my dad Satan?
My mother left some things out. And yeah, would be much more brand new. There'd be obvious questions about what the hell is happening here. And again, kind of brushing off the dirt of a concept I've been kicking around for a while, which is the daughter of a succubus who is supposed to be a Cambion, and it's just a terrible disappointment. Like, just kind of like, oh, well, do what you want, I guess. Just gonna go and try again.
Sure, that guitar will get you so far.
For that.
Did you have like a real degree? Okay, well that's really hurtful, Mom.
Well, if you could just, I don't know, a lot more spaghetti straps or something. Like, it's just, all right, listen. Yeah, reveal your soul through music or whatever. Cool. Lose my number. So yeah, that's kind of the dichotomy. If we feel like we have, like, if we want to do brand new, couple months, couple years, and lifer, I think half elf works perfectly well. If we wanted more of the two established people lead the two noobs through the city, I can do the tiefling take. But I've already drawn the half elf, so I mean, just saying.
I mean, it's up to you.
Well, no,
always helpful. It's up to everyone. Well, it's everybody got it. I'll shut up.
Yeah, does anybody have a strong leaning one way or the other of, yeah, more new people, or...
Well, and I will say... Oh, sorry.
I was thinking, like, the half-elf might be better. It might be a better way to, like, connect people together. Because, like, oh, she's trying to make it in the music world. She probably got Tina her job. Like, she, like, plays coffee shop.
Yeah. Well, and I built into this concept, and obviously we need to talk about it yet, but I figure her and Brecca are pretty, like, she finds the people in the trash and then brings them to Brecca, like, to make sure that they're getting served, because probably Brecca helped her when she first got here. So I thought we could establish that relationship, that we kind of do this. We kind of like street rescue. We get discarded their forever homes. Yeah, I mean, that can be enough to push me off the fence. Anyone else have a stronger leaning one way or the other?
I like that concept. That rescue.
Yeah.
Thing.
All right.
You guys have an unofficial rescue agency.
Yeah, then Amy it is. The tiefling was named Ami, and that was going to be her virtue name because it's French for friend. And that way I didn't keep clicking on the wrong character sheet. So, yeah, cool. Then I will be half elf, girl with a guitar, doesn't really have a lot of worries. And has probably seen or done that.
I'm sure Andy will create worries for her.
I've got a few hooks that can be worries, but again, I just don't think they're going to worry her as much.
Well, I've got things that'll make her worry.
Your dad is... Wow, all right.
It's every person she's ever helped. You already gave me one.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It's all of them.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's a good way to go about it.
Not to peek behind the curtain. And not saying that will come up. But you know.
I feel like now, yeah, it will come.
I don't know why you would think that. What kind of bard?
Oh, just lore.
Okay.
Again, to kind of go with the I know a story.
Okay, and systematically, since you've been here such a long time, do you want to be the unremembered?
Yeah, I think so, because I think that vibes more with her. Oh, yeah. You're going to want to... This guy doesn't take subway tokens. He takes teeth. So you're going to want to do that. Like, you know, whatever. Like, I feel that vibes more with her idea that she can help people. You know, I kind of see her as the kind of person who, like, collects everyone's story. So over time, she's just kind of picked up that background more than the other.
Yeah. Yeah, you've been here long enough that you do know that.
I do know that. Yeah.
Okay, half elf. Girl with a guitar, good at lots of things. Jack of all trades.
Oh yeah, my skill sheet is.
I'm sorry, Jill of all trades.
There you go. Thank you.
And it's Amy. Spelled normally or spelled with an I?
Yeah. No, I've at least until I delete the other character sheet.
Okay.
It will be Amy with a Y, but by the time we make the background, don't be surprised if it changes.
Okay. Any questions for Marty? Awesome. And your goal is to mostly just help new people?
Yeah, help new people, make it, living gig to gig, and just being of value to other people who are coming down to the city.
Okay.
The downtown.
Is she content, because she's been doing this for so long, to just be a traveling musician? Like, the idea of getting a record deal, being on the radio, that's a young person's game. Because like I know plenty of folk artists who I follow who, they just travel, and they have the same, 60 fans in every city.
Yeah.
And that's fine. And they make a nice living.
Yeah, no, she's there again, pretty conflict free. But no, and the peek behind the curtain is I just read Ani DeFranco's memoir, and it was great. And I was just kind of like, yeah. And so, yeah, like, in fact, she's kind of actively against, she's rejected several Jin's bargains, come be an influencer. It's like, nah, man, I'm too smart for that. Ooh. But yeah, no, she's so long as someone's got her mixtape and people keep coming back to her shows. It's all about the connection, man. It's all about the music. It's cool.
Okay.
So I can't like record you and post it on.
Oh, no, that's tight. Thanks, man.
Oh, okay. I mean, you'd be a hit on Witch, is all I'm saying.
So like, there's the couch. There's extra blankets. I'll leave you a towel. That's cool. Good luck with your thing.
Your deal. Okay, and we've sort of alluded to this, but making connections for characters. It sounds like, yeah, connect.
Do the thing.
Do it. Now kiss.
Yeah, Liz, if you're cool with that, I kind of envisioned that like Brecca helped Amy when she first got here, and now she thought that was like the best thing that's ever happened and really helped the transition. So she wants to make that her mission too. So
Yeah, that sounds good.
okay.
That's Brecca's whole deal anyway.
Yeah, so we're street angels.
Yeah.
We'll get jackets soon.
Maybe not here, but in the intervening week or two or whatever, maybe we can come up with something that you saved Amy from or helped her avoid or something like that. That has her kind of like...
Amy seems pretty chill. Like, and probably just like Brecca going over and being like, hey, don't go down that alley. And
Yeah,
just
like,
cool.
oh, that's a demon bar. Like, oh, cool, man. I didn't know. Yeah.
Cuts it in the alley. Just a sad looking demon. Oh, I wanted her to come down the alley.
Thanks a lot, Brecca.
What's so bad about my alley? Damn.
Stupid Gorthax. Stupid.
It's called Crime Alley, Wayne. Walk down like any other street.
Yeah, it's like an extra block and a half if I go that way.
Try to make it nice. Set out some throw pillows.
Then we have to go past the bad Walgreens.
Just give him your pearls, Martha.
Yeah, so and if we want, then between Brecca and Amy, we got Tina hooked up at the Drow Bucks or whatever we end up calling it. And then somewhere in session 1, we can find Brooks rolling around in the trash. I'm sorry to keep saying everyone's rolling around in the trash. It's just I think has to be a common origin is you just wake up in
trash.
Someone's stoop. Yeah.
Not again. Why's my hand red? That's different.
Yeah.
That's where Amy goes to look for every newcomer. Is it just hit all of the garbage?
Yeah.
I think if Tina is a fish person, they found her like face down, floating in the river, like among like just a pile of garbage.
We got a floater.
Oh shit, she's breathing still. Well, cool.
Oh no, it looks like she can breathe the water, but it doesn't look like she knows that yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I dig that.
Soup, what's your character's name?
Brooks.
Brooks. Okay.
Yeah, their full name is Brooksia, but they just go by Brooks.
If we're talking like the like super influencer route, then I definitely think that like Brooks found the coffee shop that Tina works at and is like so aesthetic. Gotta capture the
Hashtag living my best life.
Not how you use that word.
like they like take a picture of like their misspelled name on the coffee cup. That obnoxious photo.
I don't get complimentary Ugg boots when I come in here.
Man, this is a Starbucks. Okay. Okay, yeah. Those are excellent connections. What else? Um. Okay. Let's talk about lines and veils. I think I know everyone's, but anything that's let's not go there kind of thing. I think as evidenced from all the streams, I try and keep things mostly PG-13 except for language. Like, so, but yeah, anything we want to definitely firmly establish, especially for a modern game, which is, will be slightly different than a traditional fantasy game.
Yeah, I think we'll reach your limit before we'll reach mine. One thing I want to kind of highlight in this area though is all right. So Brooks is they, them, she, her.
Mm-hmm.
Liz, I noticed you were being kind of cautious and corrective about Brecca's. Have you landed on? Is there a pronoun of choice you want?
I've been going back and forth with this one, but I think I'm gonna keep them non-binary and
Okay.
be they them.
Awesome.
They, them. Okay.
Yeah.
Two non-binaries. Woo.
Woo.
Okay. And then Tina, she, her,
She, her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and Amy, she, her. Right, Marty?
Amy, she, her. Also responds to dude. You know what I mean?
One of
Yeah.
those. Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
Very 90s.
Yeah. For sure. Might even come here in the 90s. Just to cement the deal.
Is wearing the t-shirt you're wearing. Yep.
It's my girl.
Okay, I was going to say, well, the 90s wasn't that long ago. The 90s was 30 years ago.
But she's a half elf now, so it doesn't show.
Yeah, so. She's still living in the 90s, but half-elves just do that, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, why? Has it changed up there?
It's like that one scene from the first of the new Jumanji movies where that one guy, played by Nick Jonas, is using a bunch of slang. And they're like, what year do you think it is?
Yeah.
But how will people get their Screaming Trees cassettes? Sam Goody went out of business.
What?
By the way, I know this is a conversation for another time, but I'm still absolutely blown away that Nick Jonas is just in those movies. Like, how did that conversation happen?
Some executive probably said, can we get a Nick Jonas type? And someone said, we can get Nick Jonas.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay.
I'm talking to him right now. He's down.
Yeah, it works. I'm not disputing it. It's good stuff.
Yeah, he's pretty good in those movies.
Yes.
Well, I've only seen the first one, but he was very good
The
in it.
second one is fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, when you bring in Danny DeVito and you have The Rock playing Danny DeVito, it's
Yeah.
good stuff.
Okay. Excellent. Anything else we want to talk about character-wise? Otherwise, we can start talking about setting a little bit, and then, this is a session zero. It doesn't have to go a full 2 hours. So.
I did give Brecca a last name.
Oh. Okay.
Beatfoot.
Love it.
Okay.
The plural is Beatfoots, not Beat Feet, because that would just be silly.
Of course. And that is B-E-A-T, right?
Yeah.
She doesn't just have red feet.
What's wrong with your feet? I have beat feet. It's a very serious medical condition.
Actually,
Running a 5K to raise awareness.
it actually makes it worse, though, so it's...
It's a little little bit counterintuitive, but we got the spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anything comes up, we'll talk about it. Character-wise. Okay, let's talk about the setting a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, like I said, it is at this point, a modern city, but it's built on the bones of a very old city. So it still has some fantasy tropes. There's a castle. The castle's a museum now, but there is a castle.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the bridges are pretty old. Some of the streets are kind of old. There's no cars because there's not quite enough ventilation that cars wouldn't kill everyone. But there is an elevated train because I think L's are cool. There's a barge system. There's on certain parts of the city where it's kind of sludgy and swampy. There's like big trash rafts that you can, pay $1 to ride down. Most people live in a place called the Temps, which were built when people just started randomly showing up because, like I said, this is kind of a modern or built on a fantasy city. Dwarves and drow used to live down here, and then just random other people started showing up. So like, I guess we got to build you houses. So they started building temporary houses, and then they never went away. So the temporary housing ward kind of makes up a large portion of the city. There's a river, like I said. There's a dragon turtle who lives in the river. Ocean ceiling we talked about. Swamps. Hydrofields. Arts district. There is in the harbor a big statue, not unlike the Statue of Liberty, but it's called the Mother of Exiles. But it is not that green color associated with the Statue of Liberty because it's been properly maintained, so it's still kind of brassy bronze, bright and gleaming. But otherwise, it's a woman in robes. She's wearing she's holding a lantern. She has an open book. It's similar. I won't say it's not similar. But yeah, other than that, think of New York, London, any big city you've ever been to. It's like that. People argue over what city we're under or based on.
Because presumably, if we're discarded, we came from different cities, right? Like,
yeah. So no, Cleveland. I'm sorry, yeah. Cleveland.
Yeah, obviously.
You think we're all from Cleveland?
Do you have a statue in a harbor in Cleveland? Do you have a harbor in Cleveland?
We have a river that catches on fire. Several times. Thank you.
Thank you.
But yeah, and kind of like, I'm sorry, do you think so many people go missing in Cleveland every year that nobody would notice? Like, what's your deal? Sorry, Cleveland.
Before we go on to anything else, I can't move past Cleveland over here.
Okay.
It's obviously Des Moines.
Yeah.
You know what? Can't right now. I don't think I mentioned this. Guns don't work unless you take a class that specifically lets you use a gun.
And then you're making it work magically.
Yes,
probably,
you are.
Or something.
You are holding it together with magic, essentially. Yeah, just because it's easier that way. You have smartphones. I think I said that. Although you're...
Does Amy not have a smartphone?
It's a flip
phone. It's one of those Nokia...
Always on me, man.
It's one of those Nokia coffins.
Yeah.
T9 works great. I have never understood a text message you've sent.
I Can't figure out how to get the auto type to turn off, so just... I'm sure I meant it, man. Let's go. Exclamation points or question marks?
If we try and group text you, your phone explodes.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't like that.
Also, you can't use emojis.
Well, just call me.
No. I'm not doing that.
I will never.
Man.
Gross, a genuine human connection. I hate it. Okay, let's see. I'm just excited. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, for sure.
I've been wanting to play
Let's
a
just
modern...
start right now.
I mean, we can. I've been wanting to play a modern fantasy game for a while now. The last couple things. My touchstones for this were Miyazaki movies, Neverwhere, very much Neverwhere. Shin Megami Tensei, kind of that mix of grimy aesthetics with weird magic and monsters. So Persona as well. Narnia, Brazil, the movie, and then I wrote Narnia again. I don't know why I did that.
Double.
You must have really meant it.
I really meant Narnia.
Narnia, and I cannot stress this enough.
Narnia. Yeah,
I have a couple
go.
questions, like topographically speaking. So there's bridges, plural.
Yes. Yeah,
Are they only going over this river? Like, what if we just kept walking in one direction? We'd never reach the end of Suburbia, right? Like, we would. You
would eventually.
Oh, okay. So what's outside the city? Is there mountains in the distance? Like, what's
so? It's hard to see terribly far. Mm-hmm. The draw distance down here is awful.
Yeah, no, I get it.
It's like a PS1 game.
Yeah, with all these NPCs walking around, each one of them has individual dialogue.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare. Yeah. They had to take it from somewhere. You know what I mean?
You try and zoom out, it's going to take a while.
Yeah.
There are immediately surrounding the city are swamps.
Okay.
Sort of swamps of despair-esque. There's like a big electrical hydro field outside the city, and it's like straight up like from a sci-fi movie, or like how like electrical plants in movies are. Like lightning is just coursing everywhere for some reason. Like there's big Tesla towers, and there's blue liquid. What does that do? Why do we have tubes of blue liquid?
That's just science.
It's just science. There's a lot of stuff that it looks like science, therefore it's science.
Yeah.
But yeah, you don't know of any other settlements outside of Suburbia? There might be some.
All right, so there's no Newark across the...
No. God, no. Gross. Jersey City, no Newark. No Camden. No. It's one big city. It's a huge city. Like, it's...
Right.
Massive, and without cars and kind of shoddy public transportation, it takes you a while to get from one end to the other. You got to transfer 8 times.
Is there like an underground? Is it sewers and dungeons down there? There's obviously not a subway.
There is not a subway. There's an L. Yeah, there are sewers.
Okay.
But you can also see occasionally in the cavern there looks like a big like sewer grate from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that is presumably connected to Uptown's sewer system.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there are sewers below. There are ruins. They are heavily policed by constructs and golems set by the Modrons to these are off limits.
Yeah.
So yeah, the city's sort of built on ruins and sewers. But if you do leave the city, you can leave the city. It's just nobody ever does.
Yeah.
And whether that's being magically compelled to stay or would I want to, there's nothing else out there.
Yeah.
But also there have to be hermits who live in the swamp probably because nobody wants to be around people.
Yeah.
And by nobody I mean some people don't want to be around people.
Some lizard folk out there doing fish harvesting or whatever.
Yeah, totally.
Frog gigging. Let's see. So it seems like over the years that more people have kind of come down here. Like, did someone build the electrical fields, or one day there's just electrical, like, field? Like, how much of this is manifest reality of just like, and now that's there?
Yes.
Yeah,
Some of it is constructed, but other times it's just like, well, they invented electricity uptown, so that just showed up like it's the fucking Sims, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. Sure. All right, and campaign wise, broadly speaking, like on our way to work, do we accidentally get into dungeon crawls? Like, if we go down the wrong alley, are we held up by beholders? Like,
yes. So this is just like regular cities, just like anywhere. There are hazards, and it's just, instead of street toughs, it's a bunch of kenku who look like pigeons who are all barking dialogue from a movie at you, and you're like, oh my god, teenagers. You gotta run across the street.
My god, I haven't lived until I have Reservoir Dogs on Blu-ray. I get it. Get a second personality trait.
But beholders, and unlike real cities, there are dangerous monsters who live in this city. It's beholders, vampires, dragons. Dragons might be in charge. They're still dragons.
Yeah.
And if you go down some wrong alley, you might end up in the dungeons, and then you have, is this a purple worm? Let me call my boss because I'm going to be late again. And yeah, there are some people who just head down, go to work, make coffees, work at a food store, or a firefighter. This is our everyday life. So some people will never experience adventure down here. You do have to look for it a little bit, but sometimes people will just get caught up in, like any good Coen Brothers movie or whatever. Sometimes it just finds you and you're like, holy shit, there's a mafia in this town?
Yeah.
And they want me? I can get you a tow. I'll get you a tow by 3 p.m.
But like, it's not like like goblinoids. You don't attack on sight. That goblinoid has a job.
Yes, a little briefcase and a suit.
Yeah.
Please,
yeah.
sir.
Okay. So there's no evil races, but there are evil individuals, presumably.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Drow are here. Goblins. But just like it's no evil races, evil people.
Yeah. And evil organizations, presumably. But...
Mafia. Sorry, what did you say, Mira?
I said there was a gaggle of goblins while talking on Bluetooth.
All smoking cigarettes outside their office.
Yeah. Also, if there's going to be a mafia, anytime I think of the mafia, I just think of the Frog Mafia from Meet the Robinsons. Which is, if we're going to be in a magical city where magical races exist, I would very much like it to be that.
I always picture the tracksuit mafia from Hawkeye, the Hawkeye comics, where they all just wear tracksuits and say "bro" with a Russian accent. That's it. Like that's and they fight Hawkeye every once in a while. But I'm picturing them as hobgoblins for some reason.
Well, I have to imagine there is a mafia per race almost. Just like that's the Drow mafia. And that's the Bullywog mafia. They're mostly in the swamp.
That's the turf.
Mm-hmm.
I think I have it written.
The Kenku Mafia only know Godfather quotes. It's real weird.
Real weird. They all have a Scarface poster, like, on them. Seems impractical.
Let's think. Yeah, I can't remember if it was here or for Wyan Yoth, but I at some point wrote down Maul Lolth just because I kind of thought it was funny, the idea that Lolth was their crime boss and they called her Maul Lolth. Because if there's there's a British detective series I like, and one of the crime bosses is Ma something, and she's just sort of the low-key crime boss. Like, she doesn't do anything bad. She just, organizes, all the petty crimes in town. And you just go to her if you need anything kind of... Okay, where's your kids? You got like 15 kids, and they're all involved in some manner of local shitty petty crime.
Yeah. All right. Question for Brecca: is Brecca on the wrong side of any particular crime organization, or the cops even, because they could be organized crime depending on the city? Is Brecca on anyone's bad side?
I guess it depends on like who I'm helping. Like if the mafia are like the sort of recruiters for like just new blood, and they're also like trying to get people, then she would probably be on the bad side, or they would be on the bad side of a bunch of.
Almost certainly that as soon as new people show up, it's, well, you need to pay certain protections.
Right. Yeah, I think that's probably our natural competition, and what we're saving people from is you fall through the cracks, and whoever gets you first is how you end up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
They would definitely be like, make sure people don't end up like in debt to a mob. They're probably going to be paying off for hundreds of years.
Mm-hmm.
That could actually be her, because I really didn't write out an actual backstory for them yet. So it might just be that like her whatever ancestor got here first, accidentally got involved in one of the mafias, and then they're just like, they couldn't go to the law because the law was like, well, you made a deal, sorry.
Right. Yeah.
Then that sort of trickled down to their generation, and then they ended up, finally getting out of it, but like really annoyed about it.
Yeah. No, I love that. Yeah, I wasn't sure you kind of had these in brackets enter tragic backstory here. I wasn't sure if you could fill that out, but that's good. I like that. I like that a lot, actually.
Do you have a particular mafia you would like it to be, Liz?
I don't know. I do like Mira's idea of a frog mafia.
Frog mafia.
Yes.
They can get into the places that the big people can't.
Yeah. Which is good for Brecca, because all of their ancestors were half-orcs.
It might give them an immediate interest in, due to their amphibian nature, that a Triton bag person would have been a good get.
Yeah.
She's too into the whole above ocean shit. No one cares. Kids.
It's swamps or nothing down here. Yeah, I dig that.
Swamps are protected biomes with a lot of biodiversity. Shut up.
Uh-oh, we've activated her degree.
I don't know. It's where lizard folk shit. No one cares.
That's important to the
bio.
bio.
Well, that is to the nitrogen cycle.
Every day. Can I just get my macchiato?
She drew a little frog in the foam. That's actually nice.
It's adorable. Okay, yeah. Anything else?
Nothing's springing to mind right now. I almost certainly I will have a dozen questions between now and then. And I'm currently cooking up, well, am I on anyone's wrong side? Or am I on anyone's good side that I shouldn't be, or something like that? But that thought is gestating. It's not anywhere yet. Or have we helped someone that kind of Jason Todded us?
Tried to steal the wheels off your Batmobile.
Yeah. That's not even my Batmobile, man.
That's the perfect metaphor.
But yeah, is there anyone we tried to save, couldn't, and now they're out there?
with too many guns for some reason.
Yeah.
Oh, that
You
person
made
just
this
kept
your
using-
thing?
Yeah.
You can't just put a bat symbol on your chest and not call yourself a bat person. Jason. I wear it as a reminder that I'm just murdering all these people and Batman can't stop me.
What? Get a fucking journal, Jason. Jesus.
Kid, it was 20 years ago. It was 40 years ago.
And your whole grudge was that Batman didn't kill the Joker by now. I haven't seen you killing the Joker. You know what? Go do that. Get it out of your system.
Maybe it's harder than you think, Jason.
Yeah, actually. Think no one's tried to kill the Joker? God, get a second hobby.
He's got two. The one gun and then the second gun.
Oh, Christ. Okay, you're making Damien look interesting.
Yeah.
Oof. I did have some questions
Of course.
about so I don't know if like it's a answer of like, well, it's different for everyone, but as like the person that's going to be like the most new or whatever, like did you have like an imagining for what that experience is like? Like do you literally just like wake up one day and it's like, oh shit, like this is what I look like now? Do you wake up in like a particular place? Like
It's okay. So I had toyed with the idea of waking up in a particular place, but I don't think that's going to be true.
Is it the trash?
So, but it is slightly different for everyone. Some people might go to sleep and literally wake up here. Some people might trip into a puddle.
mm-hmm.
Like when they stand up, you know, it's not like falling through the puddle, but they stand up and everything's suddenly different. And they look down and, you know, they're an orc. And it's like, damn, am I tripping? Like, what was in that puddle?
Yeah.
God, New York's disgusting. Like,
I knew the river was on fire, but not the puddles. Ugh.
yeah. So it is different for everyone. You wake up, if that is, might be literally you blinked and all of a sudden, you know, you're feeling particularly low or you whatever. You walk down an alley, you walk out an alley. This isn't Poughkeepsie. It's definitely not Poughkeepsie.
Or like
Wait,
Tina sank to
so-
the bottom, somewhere in there started to breathe and came out the other side.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I
Okay.
think Amy went to some unnamed bar down by a wharf or something, walked into the bar. It was filled with fish people and monsters. I did the gig, obviously. And then, yeah, been here ever since.
Yeah, Brooks might have like literally taken a picture of themselves, you know, blinked, and when they looked at the picture, they looked like a tiefling, and that's not the cosplay they were doing. And
Just
I mean,
join
the wig
TNT
was-
Entertainment. Oh, no.
damn it, I knew not to trust Ted Turner.
He's an archfiend, right? I think.
I don't know.
Might be archfake because he was obsessed with colorizing everything.
When he's a big environmentalist,
There you go.
but he also owns a racist baseball team, so I don't know.
Yeah, sounds like an archfey.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of.
It's one of the less racist baseball teams, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess he has that in his favor. Still not great, Ted. He might not even own them anymore. I don't even know. I know about sports.
Showing.
I know more about Ted Turner than I do sports, probably. Does that answer your question, Cece?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's just kind of different for everyone. And then you like, besides Tina, who obviously like got in a shipwreck and like blacked out and doesn't know if she died or whatever. Like in general, you pretty much retain your memories from.
Yes.
It just depends on like the circumstances of you coming downtown.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
But for the most part, you remember the life you had before.
Okay.
if you were very young, you may not remember a lot of it, but
Okay.
you do remember it. Whether or not you choose to abandon that life. I'm down here now. I have magic. I was a Kinko's clerk upstairs, like uptown. My job, my life sucked. Not that there's anything wrong with being a Kinko's clerk, but if it's not fulfilling for you, do something you like, or that lets you do something you like.
Or I kind of see the Futurama dilemma of just like, I just don't want to be a delivery boy, and then after everything comes in, I'm a delivery boy. Like now you're just a Kinko's clerk down here, but you're just.
But you have magic, and that might be better. You might have better friends down here, a girlfriend, a boyfriend, whatever. Like, your life just might be better down here.
Yeah, I like that being kind of the natural inclination of the setting is you were discarded upstairs or uptown. You found your place downtown. Certainly there's no end of I need to get back stories, but I think my natural inclination is, the real world sucked. And this is pretty cool.
And to me, that's sort of the Miyazaki influence of like, oh no, I'm in this fairy world. I need to get back to my real life. Why? Your parents hated you. This seems way radder.
Yeah.
Little girl. Make better life decisions, little girl.
Little girl. Yeah, occasionally there's filth elementals and hungry ghosts. Mm-hmm. You deal with it.
But Fireball, so just go. Or now you're an old woman for some reason. But Billy Crystal's funny, and that seems okay.
So get on your broom and deliver my letter.
Didn't ask for your goddamn life story, Kiki.
Go move a castle. We really did it. We ran the gamut. Go Valley of the Winds.
Something about airplanes. He made a lot of those.
Probably something about airplanes.
God, that room is somewhere to get through.
Okay. Anything else? Any other questions, comments, concerns?
Brecca, you have like an office? Do you live in that office? Like, what's your general...
I was thinking of living in the office, but like...
Every good PI lives in their office.
Yeah.
Or above their office, but it's connected.
Yeah. They have like a co-op, so it's like the first floor is an office, and then you go upstairs and there's like a little bed.
Brecca's just reminding me a lot of, there was a season of Kamen Rider that the Kamen Rider was they said that they were a hard-boiled detective, but they were actually only half-boiled, and that was kind of like their character art. Because they inherited the PI agency from like their boss that had been like a Kamen Rider before, and also a PI that was like really, really cool looking. But then he like got mixed up in some business or whatever, but their PI agency was a bowling alley.
Seems a hard place to conduct business.
So where was the last time you saw your mother strike?
Perfect game. Balloons falling all around you. I'm taking this very seriously, of course.
It's a birthday party. We'll just speak louder.
My joke for the first episode, I guess I can tell you now, is that because she like has windows where they can see the outside of who's coming up to them. So every time they'll like close the blind, like put their like jazz Spotify playlist on, and then just like kick up their legs on the desk and like look badass before the people come in.
Light a cigarette. They don't smoke. They just leave it burning.
There's like a one like half empty bottle of whiskey, but no one ever sees it like go down. So it's just always on the desk.
Blow off the dust from it. Crap.
It's about aesthetics.
Exactly.
Do you have a
Brooks
smart
gets
talking secretary, or is it a solo business?
I don't think they make enough money for it to afford
I
a
was going to say, I'm
secretary.
pretty sure that's you, Amy.
It might be a good point.
Why do you always call and ask me to hang out just in front of this desk? I'll do it.
Yeah, man. Unless I got a gig, yeah, I can do that.
Just like watch the desk for 20 minutes while I go get lunch, and then
Alright.
I'll get you something too.
All right, cool. I think this whiskey's just sweet tea. Just drum on stuff on the desk until Brecca gets back. Yeah, like I probably live in the Temps, right? Like that would make the most sense, or like above somebody's bodega or something like that. But like I want it to be a slightly larger apartment than I can comfortably afford, so that I have a guest room to put people up in. And that's probably like I run lean because of that. Like I am putting more into helping people, so I'm never turning a profit.
And that's obviously why you wear all your clothes from the 90s.
No, wait, what?
Oh, that's what I meant too.
Weird, man. Yeah.
Okay. Anything else? Otherwise, I'm going to list some businesses I thought of.
So, list some businesses.
I thought
Yes,
of,
sir.
yeah.
Okay.
While I couldn't sleep the other night. So if they don't make any sense, that's why. Sir Fancelot, which is a fast food chain. Dart, which is like Target. Barton's Discount Coat Rack. Coupons.
Love it.
Fitzy's, Companion Co., Caffeine Cauldron, Suburbia's Best, Bolts and Bobs, Sprawl Mart, which is just a Simpsons joke, The Goods Store, but it's got an apostrophe, Dave and Gary's, and Surplus and Stuff. I don't know what
I
someone
have
would
to
do.
say the
But...
Dart thing is going to confuse me a little bit because Dart is the name of Dallas's transport system.
Oh,
I did name that too. Suburbia's transport system is SUPTA.
SUPTA. Very good.
But yeah,
Those
like Dart.
Southeast Pennsylvania.
Yeah, South. It's
Appreciate it.
suburban Pennsylvania, or damn it, Suburbia Public Transport Authority.
Yeah.
But yeah, and for us, it's SEPTA, which is Southeast Pennsylvania Transport Authority. MTA, DART. Wait, is DART for Dallas Area Regional Transport or something?
I don't know. I do know Denton's, which is Denton County Transport Authority, which is not as... It's nicer, but it's worse than the Dart.
Right.
Let me look. I don't know. It's fun Google time.
I mean, it's better than Long Island's transport, which is the LIRR or the LUR.
Yeah.
The LUR.
Yeah.
It's Dallas Area Rapid Transit.
Okay.
Okay,
I think,
rapid.
It is
transit.
far
Rapid
from
transit.
rapid.
yeah, I think San Francisco's is the BART, which is Bay Area Rapid Transit, and it's a series of slow trolleys.
Like it's also like in a weird like Dallas is in the center and then there are railways like so if I want to get from where I am to where I lived in Richardson, it takes 3 hours.
Oh.
Yeah. So I have to go from here into Dallas and then to Richardson. And it's just
Oh, yeah. If I wanted to do something like that, it would probably take 2 hours.
Yeah.
also it's sketch as all hell. It's not a nice.
SEPTA's a crapshoot. It's either, oh, this train's new, or this train has been running every day since 1972. There's nothing in between.
That is a full skeleton up there.
Sir, are you driving? Is this automated?
Someone check his pulse.
The skeleton. Where am I checking?
I don't know. That's just what it says to do.
Okay. Does Tina have her own place yet?
I assume by now, if she's been living here a couple months,
Okay.
like they probably would have set her up in the Thames. She does not spend a lot of time there, and it's mostly just like trying to find a way to the ceiling, or at her job. Just
Does she have like the conspiracy theorists like cork board of like ways to try and
And presumably that storm popped out of nowhere, right? It was some mystery storm.
Oh, 100%.
Yes.
Like they weren't even that far out into the ocean.
Yeah. And yet they sank for miles somehow. Like
I should have hit something by now.
Yeah.
This is taking an awfully long time.
Love it.
It's like, how long does it take a person to drown? I thought it was 3 minutes without air. Been down here for at least an hour.
Yeah.
It's just not. Man, time really does dilate when you're dying.
Yeah.
Checking your watch.
Well, good news is this was only supposed to be water resistant up to 30 meters, and it's holding up great.
It's holding up great. It's like when you tell yourself you're going to go back to sleep, but you don't. So after like an hour, you're like, well, I may as well get up. After an hour of not dying, well, I guess I may as well get up.
This is very well just start breathing.
Or when you're trying to sleep and it's like, well, if I fall asleep right now, I'll still get 5 hours of sleep. Well, if I die right now, well, I guess I'll be dead. But if I don't die in the next 10 minutes... Okay. Closing thoughts. Anybody?
I'm excited as hell. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Me too.
Same.
Outros and plugs. Mira.
Oh, I'm not used to being first. Oh, that's so weird.
Yeah. I kind of had a situation of, Mira is where Marty is on the overlay, and I'm where Liz is on. Okay, well.
Yeah, this is completely unprecedented. But yeah, if you want to see some cool art, follow me on Twitter, on Instagram @birdsnerds for both. I've been posting just a little bit more frequently because one of my professors said something that just kicked me in the ass and was like, "All right, fine, gotta start doing this again, I guess." But yeah, if you like cool art, come see.
Awesome. Liz.
Hi, I'm Liz. I'm gonna be here pretty much the whole week, so come on by, I guess.
It's Liz Week here at the Laughing Dragon.
Liz Week.
Woo!
Cece.
Hi, I'm Cece, aka Soup, aka Soupska on Twitter and Instagram. Do you like the overlay I made that you see before your very eyes? Find that and more on my Twitter and Instagram.
And Marty.
Yeah. Hey, it's me. I'm Marty. Like, subscribe, click bells, do all the things, interact with the screen at all. There's a secret button that I put on the interface, so just keep clicking around until you get it. It's probably look at that thumbs up first. Maybe it's under the subscribe button. You don't know until you click on it, right? I mean, listen, it's free. What's it going to kill you?
I'm Idiot, and I'll also be here all week. But
we're not calling it Andy Week, Andy.
I don't want to call it Andy Week. It's Liz Week.
Liz Week.
Tomorrow is Phantom Horizons, and Wednesday is Task Force Unlikely. Join us then. Have a great day. Have a nice night, morning, evening, day. Wash your hands. Be nice to everybody.